Maps out, and if you get where you can see where we're at, you just hold the bottom there, Andy, just so it comes tight. So we use these with the troop leaders. So there's where we are now. We're not quite on the point, all right? The point is a little behind us. So we've come up that track, which existed there. We're now parked here, and this obviously now is the memorial to the 13th, 18th Hussars, which we'll go and have a look at in a minute. And you see why it's so important. So La Verenière Crossroads is here. They pushed their way forward, and you've got 5 wilts now are suddenly told, get in your bloody vehicles, get up that hill. And they come up here, and a guy who's the company commander, whose name I just can't remember at the moment, who Dim Robbins his name is, yeah.
Dim nice but dim.
No, he's not nice but dim, and he's a hell of a bloke apparently. He used to turn up at the Wiltshire, one of the other guides I do it knows him, knew him personally. He was a young officer, and Dim Robbins used to turn up at Duke of Edinburgh's regiment now and again. It's old Dim Robbins, and the young officers go, God, because he'd turn up and say, so I'd have dinner, and then the young officers say, where are we going now? And Dim would say, I want to go to a nightclub, I want to go out to strippers. And he was in his 70s then. So these young officers would have to take him out, because he survives the war. He's a bit of a hero for the Wiltshires. So A Squadron, 13th, 18th Hussars, B are brought up from down below, and it's them that go past them. And so what happens now is that the Wiltshires are told, get going. And Dim Robbins was after to say, he says, all I remember about that day was coming up here in the mist, and the mist is coming down now late at night in August as it does, and saying he's getting up there, the dust, the fire, the thirst, and our utterly weary bodies. And he said, and what they had to do was dig in, and they could hear the Germans on the other side of the bushes. The Germans, sort of with everything else that's going on, there's an anti-aircraft control centre up there in a big blockhouse, which that side, so I can probably show you it. And then what they're doing is they take absolutely no interest in what's going on. They haven't even heard these tanks come up here. And I will correct myself, it is A Squadron, not B Squadron. B Squadron are going to come after them, and A Squadron are up here, but they are one of the A and B are the ones who land on duplex drive tanks. So they're up here now, and they're saying, well, get them up. And the Somerset Light Infantry, Sidney Jarry, in his book called 13 Platoon, which is compulsory reading for all infantry officers and also most students at Sandhurst, he said he remembers being down in the fields over on the right hand side, which you'll be able to see from the memorial, and not daring to move, because every time they move, German machine gunners start fighting at them. So A Squadron, 13th, 18th Hussars just get lucky, but they seize that opportunity. That's the point. That's what armies want to do. They've got to seize that opportunity and get up here. So now they're going to reinforce them. And what the Somerset Light Infantry get told to do is get moving. And they do it in Indian file. And they are tasked to come up here and relieve the 5th Wiltshires by daybreak. And so overnight, the Somersets are coming up the hill, and by the morning this position is consolidated, and they've got FOOs of the 94th Field Regiment, and it's been my privilege to be up here with an FOO, an MC. Sadly, he died a very lonely death, fell down the stairs, nobody knew he was missing, or in his 90s like David Haddow. But he was here, and he describes being up here in the dark and saying, all I did was set all my DFs out and wait. Actually, what happened is when the Germans realised they were here, one short counter-attack, and actually they realised the game was up. Yeah? And so now, Thomas and the Corps Commander can now start feeding all the other people up the other routes to get through Le Plessis Grimaud, Sergeant Blanc and all the rest of it, to actually start and come around the north, which they're trying to do, because Mont Picon has now rendered all these other places no good, because they're up here. Let's go have a look at them. Let's go have a look what you see on the ground there.